Welcome to TMR Customs. Today we're walking you through the step-by-step assembly of a TMR benchtop welding table. These tables are perfect for home fabricators who need a reliable jigger fixture table but don't have the space for a bulky standalone table. Our benchtop tables are available in 3 sizes, 1x2, 2x3, and 2x4. Compact, durable, and easy to store out of the way when they're not in use. Let's get into it. First things first, unbox and unwrap all the pieces. Lay everything out on your workbench so you can see what you're working with. Take a moment to confirm that all the parts are there before moving on. Next, let's talk about slag. Our laser cutting process leaves a very fine amount of slag on one side of each part. You'll be able to feel it by hand. Sort all the pieces and identify which sides have the slag before moving on. Now it's time to clean up the table ribs. Use a flap disc, air grinder, DA sander, or even a file to remove the slag. As you can see, I'm using a flap disc here. It makes quick work of it. Take your time. You're not removing material, just lightly sanding off the slag to make assembly smoother for a flat, accurate table. Next, identify the side of the main table that has slag. This will be your table bottom. Sand the slag from the perimeter and the spots where the ribs will key into the top. There's no need to sand the individual holes. Again, sand lightly, no need to go crazy. Now we're ready to assemble. Fit all the ribs into the bottom side of the tabletop. Everything should click nicely into place. If any ribs give you trouble, it's likely due to a burr or debris. Just give it another sanding and inspection. Don't hammer the ribs into place. They should fit by hand, no force required. The next step is to clamp and fixture the ribs to the table. The goal is to pull the tabletop flush with the ribs so the table is flat. We're using the optional TMR Tiedowns here. These laser cut pieces work great as straps when paired with 3/8 bolts and washers. We strapped every cross section for maximum accuracy, but you might find that fewer straps will work okay. Other clamping options include C-clamps, bar clamps, or even threaded rods. Feel free to get creative and use what works best for your setup. After hand assembling all the tie-downs, it's time to tighten them down with wrenches or a socket. No need to go crazy here. You're just pulling the table tight up against the ribs so everything is flat. You'll also want to take a mallet and lightly tap the corners to square them up. Now it's time to inspect the top for flatness. Take a flashlight and run it along the ribs, looking for exposed light. If you see exposed light, you have a gap. It may simply need to be tightened up, or you may have a piece of debris in your way. Make sure to adjust accordingly and get all the ribs so they're flat against the top, with no light shining through. This guarantees an accurate and flat top. Now it's time to get down to welding. I'm using a Millermatic 252 MIG welder, but you can use any welder and process you're comfortable with. MIG, TIG, it doesn't matter. These aren't major welds. We're simply fusing the ribs to the bottom of the top. I give the table a light coating of anti-spatter spray to reduce the amount of cleanup I'll have to do post-welding. Make sure to gear up with your PPE. No one wants a sunburn in the garage. Start by welding the perimeter of the table first, attaching the outside ribs to the top. These aren't long welds. A 1 to 2 second strong tack weld will suffice. After welding the entire perimeter, work your way inside. Put one decent 2 to 3 second strong tack on each rib. There's no need to go crazy here. Too much welding and heat will warp your tabletop, which goes against everything we've been working toward with our accurate fit-up. After the table is fully cooled from welding, it's time to remove all the tie-downs or other fixturing methods. If you bought the TMR Tiedowns, don't toss them in the scrap bucket. They're handy as extra material for future projects. Here's a good view of all the welds. You can see how little it takes to properly fuse the ribs to the top. That's it, no more steps. Enjoy your finished welding table. The beauty of these tables is their versatility. I use mine on top of an existing table, and when it's not in use, I put it aside. You can also use it on sawhorses, in the back of a work truck, at a job site, you name it. For more information on TMR weld tables, check out our website, tmrcustoms.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and comment on our videos so we know what type of content you guys like. Thank you.